and the Andrew Thunderbolts. Conference affiliation for the Andrew Thunderbolts is the Southwest Suburban Conference, and the conference affiliation for the Batavia Bulldogs is the Duquesne Conference.
I can't get this plugged in.
So one team showcasing a lot of size. And so we've had a couple exciting ones so far. A couple real good ones. A little bit of a surprise here as of earlier today. The DGS Mustangs took themselves out of contention for a Jack Tosh championship, losing in a very, very exciting game we had earlier between the Schaumburg Saxons and DGS. And Dane, you were on call for that one. That was a pretty exciting ball game that Schaumburg put on. Big team. We got a couple more here.
Game.
Batavia Bulldogs, Andrew Thunderbolts. The 2019 Jack Tosh Holiday Classic. Here we go.
Big man. My bad.
Back the other way. The Thunderbolts. Amaranto. Kick out opposite side. That three ball. Shot off the mark. Over the rim. That one is number 24, Alex Rohrer.
You know, Gavin, early off here, started off, you see Batavia with their size. Early off. And then you got Andrew. Seemed to be a very quick and agile team. They could play, I guess, any position.
And that foul early will be on Devin Cheney. And we saw it earlier. A lot of notable players getting into foul trouble early. That was the case with Schaumburg and Chris Hodges.
Right.
Man,
was he good.
The junior, most likely going to Wisconsin. The Badgers of the Big Ten, and back the other way come the Bulldogs. Straight up the court, up and in. And that is Jaden Johnson on the play. And Andrew with the answer. That is number 32, Michael Bobber. Get ball moving early. That one good, going and strong. Luke Fehrenbacher.
I think one thing Batavia needs to do, since it seems like they got all the pieces that they need to a good team. Just got to knock down those shots.
That one knocked out of bounds by Ethan Ivan.
33 is huge.
And that's what Batavia has. They showcase a lot of height in this tournament. Something that not every team has.
This is Batavia. Yeah.
Now to Amaranto. He'll take the three. And off the mark. Rebounded into the hands. Michael Bobber. Back to Amaranto. Good defense here from the Bulldogs early. Dribble drive, penetration, no good. Amaranto, three ball on the way, is off the mark. Rebounded by Cheney, and here come the Bulldogs the other way.
This Bulldog bench seems to be getting really into the game. No foul
No
called.
foul called.
But this Bulldogs bench, man, you could compare it. You can almost compare it.
And that's, you know what, that like you said, when you take a team that's you know, not the closest to home. Obviously, York isn't the easiest commute for those in Batavia. You need a bench to get into it.
Right. I mean, I think that's what's going to keep this Bulldog team alive. I mean, you see York's bench. I mean, obviously, we're at York. We're home. And you have the fans, too, but their bench, we consider them best bench in the state or nation. And I like to talk about them a lot, but this Batavia bench getting into the game, too. So.
That foul on number 34, Ryan Fitzgerald. Drawing it was number 21, Luke Fehrenbacher. When taking it out of bounds on the far side is Ethan Ivan. Strong defense is the key to winning this tournament. Good look, good little feed. That one capped off by Jaden Johnson.
Jaden Johnson using his size to his ability inside the paint. Excellent score.
Good defense here by Batavia. Amaranto inside, he'll be fouled. Believe that will be called on. It's going to be a number 11, Kyle Niepsch.
Something I've noticed is there's a bunch of new, the refs on the floor right now. They're new, I know.
What?
And a lot less. Okay, now you're making me laugh. But the foul calls are different from the games earlier. So I'm trying to say.
Agreed.
So far, there's been a couple of things that have been called that would have been called in the games earlier.
Yeah. All right, fair. I didn't know where you were going with that for a second.
You're laughing at me, and I'm like,
I got you.
Yeah. There you go.
This 3 ball on the way is off the mark. Ethan Ivan, but into the hands of Jaden Johnson. Johnson looking around. 3-second violation will be called on Cheney. Andrew back the other way. And this foul will be called on Jaden Johnson.
Yep, I think so. Is there a third person sitting here doing this? Or Bobby, maybe?
Kick out, 3-pointer on the way is off the mark. Rebound is just thrown up there. That was Dale Nikolic.
On the press.
Timeout called by Batavia.
Good defense there, coming from the Andrew Thunderbolts. Locking down the Batavia offense. Batavia leads 6-4 with 3 minutes and 18 seconds left in the first quarter.
So 6-4 the score, 3:18 to go in the first quarter. And you know, we talked about, you know, obviously the scores at the end of the first quarter have varied throughout the day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've had a couple high-scoring affairs. St. Lawrence and St. Francis were in the 20s at the end of the first quarter.
That was a good one.
That was a real fun game. That one went to overtime. As Jaden Johnson now in the corner, 3 ball is off the mark.
Good look there.
And we will have it travel on Tyler Cooper. So let's see how well Batavia can use size to their advantage. Just under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Good hands there by Jaden Johnson. Ball will find its way out of bounds.
He seems to be the most aggressive player on the court right now.
I would second that. And we just got word from the South Gym that Brother Rice is beating Glenbard East. It was a very highly publicized matchup. Amarado from deep is good. And just like that, Andrew has their first lead of the ball game, 7-6. Driving, Jaden Johnson will be fouled. That foul will be on number 32.
It's the right idea from Jaden Johnson there. Find the open.
Good drive.
Found the open lane on the
Foul on Michael Bobber. Yep. And that will send Johnson to the line shooting 2.
Drawing the foul.
It's the first.
You know, for bigs like Jaden Johnson, the drive where you run along the baseline and kind of get that layup in there from under the basket, very effective. Draw the foul. If not, I mean, you convert that 9 out of 10 times.
And we saw that earlier today. You know, we saw Schaumburg open it up with Chris Hodges. They got the ball down low down the stretch. And because everyone's attention was on Hodges, it allowed for a kick out and 3 balls and just using every aspect and every part of the floor. Ball will stick with Andrews. That one was knocked out of bounds by number 20, Trent Tusana. Noah O'Connor to inbound the ball to Amaranto. Amaranto back to O'Connor. Traffic down there on the far side. Giving inside. On the left block, right-hand floater is good. Michael Bobber on the play. Here come the Bulldogs back the other way. Looking, pull up, jumper, no good. Rebound by Michael Bobber. Back come Amaranto. Comes Amaranto and Thunderbolts. And Dane, it's scrappy, but at the same time, some sloppy basketball here by both teams. Good hands.
I think both teams are trying to get to this rhythm and find an effective offense that works, and the opposing defense for both sides is just clamping them down and not allowing anything.
Jaden Johnson will inbound the ball. Good hands there by Amaranto. And we'll do the same thing. Tyler Cooper on the inbound this time. Jaden Johnson, deep 3 on the way. Off the mark, no good. Rebound to Amir Alexander. Tristan Moore back to Amaranto. Kick out, Michael Bobber. Bobber will drive and draw a foul. And that foul will be on number 4, Tyler Cooper. So, Dane, you and I have both seen our fair share of teams. So far, what team to you has been the most impressive?
I think, well, in last game, LT, they played really well, but I can't bash the defense from who did they play? Jeez. Was it? I was doing the camera on that one. You don't even remember. You don't
Sandberg.
remember.
They played.
Yeah, Sandberg. I'm sorry. Yeah, Sandberg. It's both the same color. It was confusing. I can't bash, but I liked both Saint Lawrence and Saint Ignatius. No, jeez.
I thought St. Lawrence so far.
I think Saint Lawrence was the
has
most
had the
dominant team.
most. It wasn't the widest of margins, but they had a pretty impressive win, and they took out a team who was pretty respectable in this tournament.
Yes, both teams. I think
Johnson jumper on the way is strong, putting it straight back up.
I think besides the Sandberg LT game, all these games have been winnable for both teams and have shown great effort from both teams.
Agreed, and you know what? I look at LT, and their play style is very similar to York's, and that's a team that we see every week, and so we would know, and that's something that you see from the West Suburban Conference day in and day out. They emphasize defense, and that's what you need to do to win this tournament. You need to get scrappy, you need to get after the ball, you need to be quick, and we were talking about how fatigue is the ultimate killer in this tournament. It is not an option to get tired.
Right, waking up for, maybe when you were a kid, you'd wake up for an 8 a.m. game, but now when you're waking up for these 8 a.m. games, 10 a.m. games, it throws you off because you're used to the 7:30 games where you're playing with a packed gym with your school. It's a whole different thing. It brings you back to when you were in middle school.
Yeah, and the first couple games today almost felt kind of like silent night.
Yeah.
It was points, but a lot of the noise in terms of the crowd factor was coming from the bench, and that's something that definitely throws you off.
As you see,
It was kind of fun.
Yeah,
and it was Jaden Johnson and Noah O'Connor.
They're getting into it already. They're getting scrappy. But at the same time, it's all sports. It's sportsmanship. Both players want to win equally as bad.
And O'Connor well knocked down the three. Good ball there, and Andrew extends their lead to 4. Back the other way come the Bulldogs. I will say, Dane, this is, and you were talking about, this is the tallest team that I think we've seen in this gym today.
Oh, yeah. Well, Jaden Johnson, along with Devin Cheney. They're huge.
Yeah, Devin Cheney is a big guy. And that was, on that play, that was Luke Fehrenbacher drawing the foul. And he'll knock down the first.
And something I brought up earlier, this Bulldog bench. They were getting into the game earlier, and now second quarter comes around. It's a little more quiet.
Yeah, and that's something that we've seen teams get down and go out. We saw it in the Sandberg game, and it was a close game for the first couple minutes, but they went down by about 5 and counted themselves out as the 3-ball there is good. That one made by Kyle Neach.
That was a good shot. I knew it was in. Second left his hand. Excellent.
And that will allow the Bulldogs to retake the lead 13-12 with 6:40. I believe there was a push there. It won't be on Cheney. That'll be his second. So those are a couple quick fouls. 5 team fouls for Batavia at the moment.
6 minutes and 40 seconds left here in the second quarter.
Zalmoranto Directing traffic up top. We'll give to O'Connor. O'Connor, no help, will drive himself. Giving it to Elijah Laws. Far side, near side, Amaranto is good.
From Andrew, man, on that one. Excellent ball movement. Getting the ball around the top of the key, swinging the ball around really well.
They're going punch for punch. Kyle Neepsch again goes back to back.
6 points for him.
And these we were talking about, these are the types of games we like to see.
This is getting exciting. The ball movement from Andrew is it's allowing them to score points, but then for Batavia, they seem to be scoring in transition and on, I don't know, just shots that they're able to get. They could get a good look.
That air ball recovered by Laws. Look up to Amaranto. And Dane, you talked about it. Those 2 threes, I think that might have gotten the bench back into it as they'll walk away with it now. Good little steal by Amaranto. Good hands in the finish.
He's got 10 points. Amaranto.
Fehrenbacher, guarded by Laws. And now Jaden Johnson. This ball will stick with the Bulldogs. Good cut there, and a beautiful play.
You saw the Batavia coach directing the offense like a traffic director.
Great execution there by Jaden Johnson. As O'Connor back the other way would drive, right-hand finish, no good. This ball bouncing up. And out comes Fehrenbacher and the Bulldogs.
Again, something that's been on Batavia's side. It's been the rebounding and it's blocked.
Ethan Ivan get a little pass, but unable to finish is Jack Valenti. And Laws now. The far side, kick out O'Connor. O'Connor 3-ball is off the mark, no good. Rebound by Jaden Johnson, and a foul will be called on Amir Alexander. So this is, I mean, you know what? By this point in our last game, in the Sandburg LT game, the game was over. These are the types of games that you and I like to call. This is where it gets fun. It's punch for punch. It's who can outlast the other. And it's who's the scrappier team.
I mean, both these teams are showing that they want to win this game. They're, unlike the last one where both teams were just chucking up threes, especially, well, obviously both teams, so I was going to say especially LT. But they're doing what they can to get the ball inside. Great effort on both sides with defense. It's a close game.
Oh, backdoor, good little cut there by Jaden Johnson.
He has been great so far. It's his 10th point. Getting inside, using his size to his advantage. He's so quick for a big guy, for a big man. Like, you don't see big guys that are that quick that often.
52-38, Brother Rice over Lombard East.
And Brother Rice beating Lombard East 52-38 in the South Gym. We have just under 4 minutes to go in the first half. It is 20-17, Batavia with the lead over the Andrew Thunderbolts, and I mean it's been a pretty exciting one thus far, and we've had some great games here in the green and white. And as we mentioned, York does a terrific job of hosting this tournament year in and year out. The Dukes winning last year's tournament. DGS was the runner-up, and as we said before, they were sent home earlier today by Schaumburg. Chris Hodges and the Saxons. We had a great game between St. Francis and St. Lawrence. That one going to overtime. The LT and the Sandburg game had its struggles. That one resulted in about 20-point difference in favor of the Lions of Lyons Township. As we resume action now to Andrew and Batavia. with Amaranto trying to get a cut, couldn't do it. Jaden Johnson gets on the floor and everything's getting scrappy. I believe Noah O'Connor is in there. Ball was recovered by number 34, Ryan Fitzgerald, and this ball will be awarded to the Bulldogs of Batavia.
You know, going into this one, I don't think I was as excited as I thought I would be, especially going into that Rolling Meadows game versus Conant. So, I mean, I guess I was surprised by how good this game is and how exciting it is. Fast pace, fast tempo.
And that will be our next game, Rolling Meadows and Conant. There's that 3 off the mark there, shot by number 11, Kyle Neepsch. Rolling Meadows and Conant. Rolling Meadows is home to Max Christie as this ball, Jaden Johnson back the other way, chased down by Fitzgerald. He'll go up and he will be fouled. But that game showcasing Max Christie, the #1 recruit in the class of 2021 in the state of Illinois, and a winner of a gold medal in Brazil over the summer is Jaden Johnson, shot #1. It was good.
That was a good job from Jaden Johnson there, working it, making sure the defender was on him so he could draw the foul. He knew exactly what he was doing.
And that's what we talked about. Transition buckets, no matter how you get them, free throws or going to the basket, are always important. Johnson hits the second. 5-point advantage for the Bulldogs. Is Amaranto. The Thunderbolts go back to work. Far side Laws.
Batavia bench getting back in it.
Fitzgerald
Team is
looking
on
around,
defense.
finds Amaranto. Far side Laws. Laws looks. Back to Laws. That 3 ball is off the mark. No good. Shot by Alex Roher, but now taken by Roher. Fitzgerald looks inside to Laws. Laws hesitates, goes up, gets the and 1. Chance for a 3-point play. Checking in. Back into the ball game now is Michael Bobber, and then for number 11, Daniel Nikolic. And the N1 opportunity is sealed.
Last year, as a junior, number 24, Jaden Johnson averaged 18.5 points per game for this Batavia Bulldogs team, as their team went 1-3 total. So, expect him to do more than that.
And Johnson accounts for 12 thus far.
I mean,
That threw ball off the mark, but off the shin of Alex Roher. But I tell you what, I haven't been completely impressed by this Batavia team.
Yeah.
You know, we were watching them in warm-ups, and they looked impressive as Cheney will come back into the ball game. But I haven't been, overly impressed.
Find me another big guy that can do a crossover in traffic, through the legs, and kick it out. Like, just his ability as a big guy to do things that small guys can do it's great.
And coming into this one, there seemed to be a favorite, and that was Batavia. But thus far, Andrew is getting after it and getting after loose balls and hitting shots and always having an answer for what the Bulldogs do. Is that shot by Neepsch is good. Minute 40 left in the first half. Top Amaranto looks down low to O'Connor. O'Connor trying to go up and under. He'll get that basket. Getting crafty is Noah O'Connor.
Batavia has 2 sophomores in.
Inside Cheney. Floater. Right hand is no good. This ball will stay with the Bulldogs. And Johnson is kind of playing that kind of two role, like a power forward. But you look at the height difference between him and Cheney, who's a 5, and there's none. And that shows you how much height is on this team. Neach, 3 off the mark. This ball will go to the Thunderbolts. .8 remains.
Jaden Johnson's listed as a guard.
And that is, I mean, he's every bit of.
I mean,
he's a tall human being.
He's the tallest player on the team. He's listed as a guard. On defense, he plays himself in the lane. He's guarding, but
he's got quick hands too.
yeah, that's what I've noticed too. He's got quick hands.
And that play right there was a perfect testament to it.
I mean, I guess if he's gonna go play, I wonder how tall he is. He's got to be what, 6'4", 6'5"?
Oh yeah,
No.
he's every bit of 6'5".
Yeah, 6'5" at least. So he played guard.
O'Connor gives inside to Bobber. Bobber trying to get his way up. Can't do it, but he does draw a foul, and he, I believe, will be going to the line. Was shooting. Just under 30 seconds remaining in the half. We're going to take time for Josh Costello to tie his shoe. Bobber at the line shooting 2. His second one off the mark. No good. 1 point affair between the Batavia Bulldogs and the Andrew Thunderbolts. 20 seconds to go in the first half. Trent Tusana to Jaden Johnson. We've been saying his name a lot. He'll go up and under. That one no good. Amaranto looking for something.
He was looking at the clock.
That ball no good. So that concludes the first half from the Batavia Bulldogs and the Andrew Thunderbolts. And we'll be right back. Dane Emmerich and Gavin Hughes on the call. The Jack Tosh Holiday Classic. We'll see you after the break.
Check. Oh.
We are back. Jack Tosh Holiday Classic. This game between the Batavia Bulldogs and the Andrew Thunderbolts. Noah O'Connor to inbound, 24-23. Batavia ended the half with the advantage. And Thunderbolts get to work. Amaranto, far side. Three ball on the way is off the mark. So Dane, your takeaways from the first half.
I like Jaden Johnson, number 24 of the Batavia Bulldogs right now. He's got 12 points. He's able to work inside. Listed as a guard. He could shoot. He could get inside. He could draw the foul. He could do whatever.
I would like, and you know what, to add to that, I would like to get, for Batavia, get Devin Chaney involved a little more as the individual shooting free throws right here. It's the first. They need to utilize him down more a little bit, or down low a little bit more, and that's something that they can definitely do. I wonder if that's part of the game plan. Is he'll hit the second.
It's kind of the same thing. It's kind of the same concept from that first game. The game was that earlier with the Schaumburg game.
The Saxons.
No, what was the?
It was Schaumburg.
The center's name. Big guy.
Oh, Chris Hodges.
Yes, Chris Hodges. It's kind of the same concept with Jaden Johnson and Chris Hodges. They're able to spread the floor out and allow other players to do their job, along with scoring baskets and do their job themselves.
That foul will be on Amaranto. His first of the half. Jaden Johnson. Good little feed inside to Chaney. Chaney gets the roll, gets the bounce, everything. Going Batavia's way here early in the second half. To Bobber. Good hands, but ends up sticking with the Thunderbolts. Amaranto getting a little spin move. Jumper on the way is off the mark. Rebounded by Chaney, but this one will stick with Andrew.
Solid defense coming from Batavia. Running the clock down on defense, not allowing Andrew to get any good looks. For that one, causing that last shot to be off the mark.
This one taken away by Luke Fehrenbacher, and the foul on Amaranto. That'll be his second early. And that's pretty notable because he accounts for 10 points. So now it gets a little interesting. We didn't talk about fouls all day. Those are three very, very quick ones from Andrew. Not even 2 minutes into the first half or second half.
Yeah, that's tough because if you're coming down to the wire and you're down, you really can't be into foul trouble if you expect to come back and win that game. You can't be in the foul trouble.
And these are teams that, you know, have a variety of juniors and seniors, but something that a lot of teams in this tournament have that neither of these teams do is freshmen. There is not a freshman listed on either of these teams. Bringing it now up the floor is Fehrenbacher. Fehrenbacher, three ball on the way, got it, and the foul. Chance for a 4-point play. Luke Fehrenbacher, the junior guard, with the and one opportunity. Coming out of the ballgame now is number 34, Ryan Fitzgerald, and checking in is number 21, Dylan Miller.
And so far, this Batavia team starting to slip away with the Pretty big lead, up by 9. With 6 minutes and 9 seconds left here in the third quarter.
And that ball stay with Andrew. O'Connor to inbound. That was interesting there. He was surprised. No call on the half-court violation, but I think before the ball hit his hands, his foot was in the air and already behind the line is O'Connor giving to Miller. Miller on the near side, and this ball will stick with Andrew.
Again, Andrew, good ball movement, working around, swinging the ball around. Just can't get their shots to drop right now. And they're down 9, so you gotta get some open looks, get that lead back.
They need that. They need some buckets. Zamaranto. Miller. Drops it inside. Michael Bobber trying to spin. Something going on Cheney. Doesn't get it, but the foul is called.
Batavia crowd behind us is getting into it a little bit. I believe it's Batavia.
Tell you what, we were talking earlier about the commute from Batavia to York, but I think most of them were up for the commute. I mean, we're hearing a lot of reaction as Bobber's going to miss the first. But we're hearing a lot of reactions from those wearing red and white in the crowd, and the red and white is multiplying as we speak. As Bobber, his team currently down by 9. He will make the second. Back the other way come the Bulldogs. Opposite side inside, Jaden Johnson. No, nothing called. Johnson, that one will be called.
That was a mistake.
So that was Bobber trying to draw the charge.
Right.
Couldn't get it.
It clearly wasn't a charge.
Yeah, I think he was trying to sell that one.
Right. And the refs made a good call, but it was a mistake there because it allowed Jaden Johnson to get the open look. I mean, he missed, but now he's shooting free throws, so it hurts.
Now you risk going down by double digits, and that always hurts.
Right.
Especially here early in the second half. It's the second.
Johnson's now got 14 in the game. Averaged 18 points per game last year in the Jack Tosh tournament.
Dylan Miller for 3. Off the mark, no good. Rebound was Josh Costello. Back the other way, but this one taken away. Back the other way comes Alex Roher. Roher inside to O'Connor. He gets it to go.
Good pass. Great pass from Andrew. I couldn't see the number, but yep.
Floater on the way. No good, and we're going the other way. Foul on number 50, Josh Costello. 82-76 the final, 76 the final from the South Gym. Brother Rice in the win. And they will be moving on as Glenbard East move down to the losers bracket. Amaranto, who was not on the shot, it was on the floor. Bring out of bounds is number 12, Noah O'Connor.
So today, if you win, you move on, and if you lose, you're automatically sent to the losers bracket.
Exactly.
Right.
So it's pretty. I mean, I don't know about you. I'd much rather play for a real championship as opposed to a consolation championship.
So that's why. I mean, you're putting all your effort in this first game. Because if you lose, you're already done.
And we talk about fatigue becoming a factor. That's why this tournament is something that gets to teams physically and mentally. Just coming into the ball game now is number 3, Ethan Ivan. For the Bulldogs, O'Connor to inbound. Gives to Miller.
I still feel bad for that St. Francis team.
Yeah, that St. Francis game was a fun one.
I mean, they had that team. Ooh,
I don't know about that call. That was a pretty good defensive play. Might have caught a pinky.
For St. Francis to play that good, they had the potential. They could beat plenty of teams in this tournament. But you got matched up with St. Lawrence, who also played a good game. In overtime, got away with the win.
As Johnson hits the front end.
Shooting for his 16th point of the game.
It's second.
He is perfect from the free throw line, isn't he?
Yep.
Jane Johnson's a great basketball player.
Kick out from the corner, Roher. No good. Rebound by Amaranto. He goes straight up and gets it. That's a hustle play there. Cuts the lead to 8.
Jaden Johnson did a great job closing out the three-point shot there, allowing the air ball, although there was a putback.
That one rebounded by Bobber. And that was Johnson on the shot. Now Dylan Miller and the Thunderbolts back the other way. Good little cut there by O'Connor. He'll be blocked there. A foul call to push in the back on Ethan Ivan.
You want to mention...
Shout out Slow Shay.
There it is. In the building. In the third quarter of this game with 3 minutes and 15 seconds left.
This is O'Connor trying to get it back to 2-possession ball game, and checking in now for the Thunderbolts is number 10, Tristan Moore. Misses the second. Rebound by Costello. And back come the Bulldogs.
Now I turned around and looked in the crowd behind us, and I noticed someone wearing a big Baller Brand shirt. How you feel about that?
Well, that's funny because I did see LeVar walk in the building as I was walking in this morning.
Really?
He's actually here.
I love that man.
38-29. Batavia with the lead, 2:45 to go in the third quarter.
The bench is loving it. They're up. They're clapping. They're cheering on their team.
This is Law, his first action since the first half, to Bobber. Tristan Moore on the drive. Kick out Amaranto for 3 is no good. Rebound by Costello.
The Batavia bench starting to sound like a whole student section right about now.
Jaden Johnson the other way for 3. No good. Rebound by Costello. He goes up, no good, and a foul called.
That's what's good about having your big men on the floor. You have one big man like Jaden Johnson shooting at 3. Someone else like 50. Jack Costello.
Josh.
Josh, sorry. I glanced. Josh Costello shooting or snagging that rebound. You have a lot of opportunities to keep the play alive. That's what's allowed them to get this 38-29 lead.
Slow Shay is out of the building.
He's not here for this game. You know who he's here for? He's here for Christie.
As Costello misses both.
He's just getting those warm-up shots in, you know. Ooh.
Good little cut by Bobber. Great pass there by Moore. Bobber trying to make something happen. He'll be fouled and a chance to go to the line. Yeah, and once again, folks, coming up after this ball game is Conant and Rolling Meadows. The Rolling Meadows Mustangs come in here at 6-2, 3-0 in conference. And they future. It's Bobber. This is down with they future the 5-star recruit, Max Christie.
You know what's funny? I think last night, I bet my little brother if Slow Shay would be here. and I'm pretty sure he's here. So I just had to say that for him.
Sloshay is back in the building. So Baby Emmerich is going to lose some money. 38-30, just under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. He's coming in now is Luke Fehrenbacher, who has 8 points. Coming back the other way is the Bulldogs. Fehrenbacher. Jaden Johnson for 3. Is good. Their largest lead of the night, 41-30. O'Connor guarded by Ivan. To Laws. Laws would drive, and a blocking foul called. That one on Jack Valenti. So we're pretty even fouls. Andrew with 7, and Batavia with 6. And Laws will hit the first.
Still, although Andrew only, even though the fouls are about equal, it's worse on Andrew being down 10 now 9. It's hard because once you get in that fourth quarter and time starts getting away from you, there's nothing you can do.
And we talked about that when York played Bennett. Not too many, fouls were being committed, and that's not a terrible thing because you can commit a lot of fouls in a little time. As Fehrenbacher misses that one, but a rebound to who else? But Jaden Johnson. He'll go up, doesn't get the N1, but he'll go to the line, shoot 2.
Again, like I said about the rebounding, a lot of size, a lot of rebounding, causes for a lot of second chance opportunity. So I think one thing that Andrew's lacking right now is defensive rebounding.
Johnson hits the front end.
Jaden Johnson still yet to miss a free throw. He has 20 points now. Man, he's balling out.
Misses that one. I think you might have jinxed him. Rebound by Roher. And back the other way from the Thunderbolts. Ball's on the near side. Back to Amaranto in the corner. Dangerous spot. Amaranto back to the top. Trying to direct traffic. He looks. He drives. He goes up. He goes in. Left-hand finish is good. 42-34. 30 seconds to go in the third quarter. I mean, that was the parting of the seas. And a great job there. Recognizing that was number 3, Ethan Ivan.
Again, Jaden Johnson at last transition play, opening up the floor, allowing for the easy layup.
Inside, good move, good finish. The left-hand finish is good. The number 24, Alex Roher. Throwing it up. Hopeful and hitting.
Knocks it down.
That one made by number 4, Tyler Cooper. 47-36, the score at the end. cool to see people like that out here. His son, Frank, National Player of the Year in 2015, now with the Phoenix Suns, signed a 2-year, $10 million contract. But that was 2015 was one heck of a year. Wisconsin Badgers upsetting the Kentucky Wildcats in the Final Four.
Oh, you're a big Wisconsin guy right here, aren't you, Gavin?
That guy was on my TV. This is his side now is Cheney. Spin move is good.
Let's go down there.
If Frank showed up, I might quit. Oh wow, that is timeout called.
I forgot there's actually a game going on right now.
Is there? Frank Kaminsky Sr. is here, and Batavia demanding the second half.
So Frank Kaminsky's now he's on the Suns, right?
Yeah, he is. He's wearing a
Hornet shirt on.
The Phoenix Suns. I'm sad to report it, but Frank Kaminsky Sr. is wearing a Charlotte Hornet shirt. I don't know if we should. We should probably tell Frank.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he's totally repping another team that.
But that shows the kind of people that the Jack Tosh Holiday Classic, draws. I mean, Frank's high school isn't even in this tournament. Bennett's not here.
You're right.
And he's here.
Bennett isn't here.
So I don't know. He might have came to see us, to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But I mean, how special it is to see, these types of people out here, and that's pretty neat that this event brings out those like the Kaminskis.
Yeah, it doesn't look like. Okay. Good ball movement here to start off after the timeout.
Jaden Johnson the other way, got it.
His speed has really shown off, along with his size, of course. Able to score on a steal and transition. It seems like he can do anything, and he could shoot the three-pointer. He makes almost all his free throws. Driving in the lane, great defense. Had a couple blocks. He's got 22 points. Who's the last high school player you've seen with plus 20 points? You tell me right now, Gavin.
Ain't shocking.
Actually, I forgot.
You didn't.
We had some this morning. I forgot. The answer I was thinking was shocking, but we had some this morning.
Oh, we did. I didn't know if you were looking for a.
I was looking for that answer, but then I remembered. I was just.
Frank Kaminsky Sr.'s here, everybody.
God. You just text your whole family that, Gavin. Oh my God.
51-37.
Oh no, Gavin's leaving. Oh no.
We got a game to call. Dane, if we're going to be good at this one day, we're going to see a lot bigger names than Frank Kaminsky Sr. Oh, man. It's not even Frank Kaminsky.
It's just the guy that birthed him.
Oh, man. Amaranto and Thunderbolts go back to work. 6:18 to go in the fourth quarter.
And the Batavia Bulldogs starting to really come away with this one. Both teams in foul trouble. It's going to be tough for Andrew to come back here. Dude, what's funny? You haven't even put that camera on once.
Missing that one was lost.
There you go.
Amaranto, the drive is good.
Good
Left-hand
drive.
finish.
No, he's got 16 points. Amarato, he's able to work inside, shoot the 3-pointer. He's quick.
Cheney, good basket there.
Having a player like Jaden Johnson and Cheney on the same team, it allows for both of them, like I said earlier, to keep scoring the ball, and that's been the biggest takeaway from
Laws
the
is
Batavia
fouled
Bulldogs.
there by Tyler Cooper.
Just keep getting the ball inside to the bigs. You'll ice this game away and win. I mean, that's the advice I'd give to the Bulldogs.
As Laws hits the first, brings it back to 15. I would just like to know what Kaminsky might be here for. You think it's Max Christie?
Well, maybe. Well, hold on. I just put my detective hat on. And I put together. So, what state is Charlotte in?
Would you look at that?
North Carolina.
So
Where's
I believe
Duke?
Frank
Carolina.
Kaminsky Sr. has some connections to the team that we lost to in the national championship.
Right.
That's it.
Do you
Great
think,
thinking.
Do you think Frank
That-
Kaminsky Sr. has relations with Duke?
No.
No. No, Wisconsin though. Maybe.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're Max Christie, I mean, he might give
Did
Wisconsin a thought.
Did Frank Kaminsky Sr. Did he play basketball?
He did, but he didn't play for Wisconsin. That 2-point, good.
All right.
But Jaden Johnson, 57-40. It's a 17-point lead for the Bulldogs at Batavia. Back the other way. Amarato, good little cut, can't finish. Here come the Bulldogs.
The second half, Andrew Thunderbolts have not been able to get much going for them on offense. Nothing's really fallen for them.
Get a little spin move there by Chaney, but can't finish. Back comes O'Connor. And the Bolts outside. Michael Bobber for 3. It is long, no
As you
good.
see, they're starting to get into panic mode and showing some. Oh,
Jaden Johnson will be fouled there by Roren.
they're showing signs of defeat here with 4 minutes left. Gavin, would you like me to take a picture of you and Frank Kaminsky Sr.?
We got a game to finish. It's 57-40. Batavia with the lead over the Andrew Thunderbolts. But Dane, what do you think? Of this little run that Batavia has gone on.
I think not only has it been offensive, but it's been defensive. They've been able to stop Andrew this whole second half from scoring. Their rebounding has been phenomenal. Having 2 bigs on the floor works perfectly, along with Jaden Johnson and Chaney. It works. It goes together like bread and butter. Gavin.
Agreed. And you know what? I tell you what, Johnson is the type of guy who can really, like you said, really take over a game. And I think we've seen that today. He can shoot. He's got muscle.
Right.
He's not a small guy by any means.
I mean, as a big guy, he's agile. He's agile. He has agility. Is agile.
There you go. 57-40.
He's got 24 points. 4 minutes left.
Jaden Johnson is almost perfect from the line today. Missing 1. Missing that one as well. But a rebound by Ethan Ivan. Outside 3 ball is good. That one by Kyle Leach. 61-40. That one taken away.
And
Outside.
the unselfishness there from Jaden Johnson to actually pass that ball away it says something.
And the pass to Trent Dusana will result in 2 shots. hits the front end.
You look at the rest of this Batavia team. How do you pronounce that? Kyle
Neepsch.
He's got 11. Devin Cheney also has 10.
That's the thing, and we talked about it, spreading the points
Right.
out among the team is a big thing in this tournament.
This team reminds me a lot, not so much on position-wise and who's scoring, but just all around from the York team, from our York team. Besides, you know, our dominant player, obviously, you could say is Nick Shockey, point guard.
But we have guys that come off the bench.
Right.
Yeah. As Michael Morosky misses the front end. But makes the second. Up in front.
Yeah, as you see, this Andrew Thunderbolts team has a whole new lineup in. So they're starting to get their bench guys in.
Yeah, and you know what? It's not so much they did a tremendous job in the first half keeping up with this Batavia team, but I just think, you know, they were out hustled at times. They were just outmatched. And not the smartest of shots, but taking that ball no good and stepping out of bounds is Amir Alexander. But they haven't been taking the smartest shots. They were rushing certain things instead of letting the offense work and do its thing.
This entire second half, like you said, from the Thunderbolts, they just collapsed. Can't get anything going. They have a couple sophomores in now. Number 3, Elijah Laws. I mean, rebounded, but
and that's just that
Yeah.
that sums up that basket good by Jack Valenti.
I mean, even this guy, right, Jack Valenti, he's a bench player, and he's still coming in. That just shows the amount of, that's nice 3 balls, the amount of players that the Batavia team has in depth
And
at
it's
all positions.
and it's also all gas, no brakes. You're not getting complacent.
Right.
And I think that's a big thing is teams will come out here and, you know, start really, you know, beating some of these other teams, and it becomes, you know, very boring, for lack of better words, for those who view it.
Yep.
And I think Batavia has done a tremendous job. I mean, we have an idea with 1:56 left in the fourth and the score of 65-44 in favor of Batavia. We have an idea that it is over. That is no secret. But the fact that, you know, these teams are still out here, you know, playing their guts out is really, really cool to see.
It gives players that don't usually play an opportunity to
well.
get some minutes, you know,
As
show off a little bit.
Amir Alexander in the basket there. Folks, coming up next, minute and a half to go in this ball game. But coming up next is Rolling Meadows and Conan. We've been talking about this one all day. Rolling Meadows showcasing Max Christie, the #1 player in the state in the 2021 class. And we can't wait to watch
I'd like to see him drop 40.
him and the Rolling Meadows Mustangs put on a show.
You know, how exciting would it be to see Christie score like 40 points?
It would be exciting. You know what I think would be even more exciting? I think it'd be even more exciting to see Conan come out here and give Rolling Meadows a game.
Oh, yeah. I'd like to see how they try to stop him. I mean, it takes a lot.
It'll be an
obviously.
interesting one. It'll be Max, his younger brother Cam, a freshman, and the Mustangs set to start
And I'd like to see
5 o'clock.
I'd like to see other players get some attention from that Rolling Meadows team, because obviously all the attention is around Max Christie. So I'd like to see other players put in their
Foul there on number 15, Zach Alwyn. Sends Andrew to the line. Both teams with 10 fouls.
slow she's going. But your guy Frank Kaminsky Sr. still here.
Barry Alvarez might walk in.
Someone just walked.
It's gonna start filling up with
I mean,
big
this is,
time.
right.
It's gonna start to become prime time. We see people walking in with Ohio State
Oh yeah.
logos on the quarter zips. We've seen a couple Spartan heads for Michigan State, and this is all for the Christie brothers, and that's something that's pretty cool, and it'll be a privilege to bring you that game. 15 seconds left in this one, 65-48 the score, but it really will be a privilege to call this next game. So we not only do these players have to be on our A game, but we have to be on our A game. I mean,
Of course.
Usher might be here. 65-50, 67-48, excuse me. And that will end it. 67-50, the final score. Batavia, the Bulldogs, will be moving on, and the Andrew Thunderbolts will be going down to the losers bracket. Dane Emmerich and Gavin Hughes will be back with you shortly for Rolling Meadows and Conan.
All right. That worked out. You end it? You hit the button, end it? Oh, okay. You want to go get a picture with your idol?